Welcome to Wager Talk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. Day in Spain walked the walk for sure yesterday, and we got a monster soccer game this afternoon. Big boy soccer yesterday.
Yeah, that was defense with a capital D. Holy God. If Mbappe, that's the thing, is he's incredible until he plays team defense like he played against yesterday in Spain. Congrats to Spain. Dominant. I did not see that coming. I thought, both teams to score was a good way to attack that game, and Spain just absolutely shut the door. That was the worry. I liked the fact, Andy, we said if Spain scores first, that actually helps us out. Well, it was the exact opposite, because then it was just wide-eyed for France. But we'll break that down a little bit more when we talk England and Argentina. Here on the show here today, there is daytime action in the WNBA. How should you be betting it? Skee Profit is going to let you know, and we'll also talk this Valkyries and Fever game going tonight. We're going to give you a breakdown, obviously, on this England and Argentina. I have some thoughts from Carmine Bianco. We got some plays as well. You got them coming in the chat. Keep the comments coming. But Andy, right here, right now, minute into the show, Wager Talk Today, play of the day, and we're heading to the Lynx, not the Minnesota variety. How are we betting
this? Yeah, we're going to talk about two different Lynx style plays today. One in WNBA, one in Open Championship. Well, first off, if you want a full breakdown, myself and Jan did a show. I love the episode we did yesterday for the cut line, where we give you a full breakdown of the Open Championship. This play starts late tonight, so I think the tee times are around 11:30 p.m. Eastern time over here. So if you want to get this one in, lock it in. You can talk Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy. Wyndham Clark over the last 8 weeks has been the hottest golfer on the planet, and honestly, it's not even close. Listen to some of these stats. Last 8 weeks, 2 wins, 2 other top 5 finishes, and 2 other top 13 finishes. Number 1 in total strokes gained in that time frame. His putting has been lights out. Approach has been really good. He could be a little bit more accurate off the tee, but this week, length is not that big of a deal, so expect him to pull a little bit less power from his drives and concentrate on accuracy. He finished 4th in the Open Championship last year. It was at a different course, but he does pretty decent at link-style courses. And we're getting minus 138 on a top 40 finish. This does not include ties, but I think he's going to fight for a top 20, maybe even a top 10. Nobody's playing better than Wyndham Clark, and this is 8 weeks. This is not a flash in the pan. He has really picked it up, because honestly, he was kind of garbage to start the year, but him and Tom Kim have really picked it up. We'll roll with Wyndham Clark for top 40 finish at the Open Championship.
Yeah, top 40 will be the play of the day, but as Andy gives the breakdown there, hey, you may want to quasi-ladder this. Go a little top 20, a little top 10. Wyndham Clark, we like him this weekend, and when Andy and Jan talk golf, I listen, and you should as well. So hit that like button, and don't worry, Rob Maddock, we will be talking Minnesota Lynx. We'll get to that in just a few here, but I like to play Wyndham Clark top 40. The Wager Talk Today play of the day.
Wyndham Clark over his points against the Minnesota Lynx is what Rab is gonna be playing. He's looking for it. So. All right. Well, let's bring in Skee Profit, because we got to talk a little WNBA. We got day games, and Skee, we were wondering yesterday why they do the day games. You know exactly why.
Yeah, if you tune in, you'll see a lot of kids in the stands, all there from the summer camps. They just try to give the kids an opportunity to watch the players. A lot of little girls get to watch their favorite players, et cetera, et cetera. So you'll see games at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and it probably will last the rest of July.
That's awesome. I didn't even that wasn't even on my radar. I was like, are these makeup games, or are they trying to take advantage with no MLB or whatever? So very, very cool.
Really quick. Because what I just said, I literally saw a video. It was a little girl coming home from a Wings game, and she's at home, and she literally just came home. She has like a basketball court on the wall, and she's running around the house like she's in the game, like she just was out there playing. So that's why they do it, for the kids like that who really love the game.
It's such a smart long-term play. Get kids interested. This is kind of one worry that MLB has. these late World Series and playoff games that just go into the night. And I know there's a lot of worry about, like, are we really losing kids here? What young generation wants to watch a baseball game? So smart move by WNBA to do that. Before we talk about these games, so we hit on the Connecticut Sun yesterday. I watched a lot of it because I wanted to see if the day game kind of affected the flow of the game, the pace of the game. I didn't see any difference there. They were able to put up points. It wasn't like they were sluggish. The game went kind of how we noticed. Are you going to approach these day games any differently, or is it just the same handicap as usual?
After the game yesterday, I kind of thought about it, and I don't have the stats to back it up, but just from memory, my thought is when they play these day games, I feel like they've been higher scoring. Like they want to put on a show for the kids, kind of deal. And the first game yesterday did fly over, even for two teams that are not very good defensively. You have one game already started right now, Seattle and Chicago, and this is a Chicago team that, I mean, they don't have Skylar Diggins anymore. They've kind of dismissed her in a sense, but you have Courtney Vandersloot starting, and as long as she's played, she's going to play up tempo, and she doesn't play the best defense. You look at the last Sky game; they shot less than 35% from three. They shot less than 15 free throw attempts. They still got over 90 points. I think that's a sign of just the pace that they're playing with. And I think that will continue today. For Seattle, I've seen signs of them playing up tempo as well. I know they haven't been the best offense, but I just think the pace in this game should be enough to get them up and over the total that we're looking at today.
Yeah, no Cardosa, so that's a big defensive and lack of defensive presence in there for Chicago for sure. So let's talk a little bit about the 1:00 game, and this is the Lynx and the Sparks. This is a Sparks team. Our play of the day was Sparks over their total in the last game, and they're just, like you said, they figured out a way to score without Kelsey Plum, yet they can't stop anybody. Over the course of the season, they're the worst defensively rated team. It sparks games over just until further notice for me, but Minnesota's a minus 11.5 point game. What do you make of this 1:00 Eastern game?
Yeah, what you said about the Sparks, I mean, that's kind of been their identity the past couple of years, definitely since last year. I mean, they play up tempo. I want to say they're the fastest pace in the league and the worst defense. So teams have consistently been able to score on them. But like you mentioned, for a while, when Kelsey Plum went down, it's just like the offense didn't know what to do anymore for Los Angeles. But lately, they've gotten back to figuring it out. Looking at the Sparks here, they've cleared 87 and what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their last 7 games. Only one stinker in there where they got held below 70, but 102, 106, 97, 92. This is a Sparks team that's got back to figuring out how to score. The problem with that today is they're facing a really good Lynx defense. The Lynx can absolutely shut them down if they're locked in. But the Lynx should be able to name their number. If you look at the history of this matchup, at least if you look at the last 5 games, the Lynx have blown them out pretty much every time. There's one game that they won by 9. That's like the closest game that they've had. So, they know they match up well with this team. They know they can score on this defense. Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken, is the best three-point shooting team now against a Sparks defense that, just gives it up to everybody. I really think Minnesota can get close, if not hit 100 points tonight. So I would look towards a Minnesota team total over. I would look towards a full game over. And it's hard for me to bet the Sparks in this situation just because I know how much Minnesota dominates them. So if I'm recommending anything in this game, it's a look towards the over.
I'm looking at Lynx 96.5, but yeah, if you think you're going to get close to 100, not a bad play there. I'd have to agree completely with you. So let's move to the Valkyries and the Fever. You could argue Valkyries are playing the best ball right now in the WNBA. I think I got them at 7 straight wins. Fever, though, when they get Caitlin Clark back, it's amazing how this offense just absolutely hums. So really, really good matchup. Indiana's just coming in as minus 1.5, pretty much a straight pick 'em. Over under 166.5. How do you see this game going?
Well, first of all, I think I have to mention the Valkyries have beaten the Fever every game, which I think is every game except one. So I think it's 4 out of 5. So similar to how, some teams like the Aces own the Valkyries, maybe the Valkyries just own the Fever. And the Valkyries have been playing really good basketball. I mean, they won 7 games in a row. To see them on that streak and then now an underdog, that does kind of stand out to me. And it kind of feels like, it's a little bit too easy to take the Valkyries. But what they've shown me lately, what they've shown me in this matchup is that they should be able to get the job done. So I would look towards the plus money on the Valkyrie side. When you talk about a total, and maybe I even contradict myself here a little bit, but you have a Valkyries team who plays at the slowest pace in the league. You have a Fever team who's playing, if not the fastest, probably the second fastest pace in the league. And you have a situation where I just don't think you're going to get the best defensive effort from either one of these teams. The Fever, first game home after a long road trip. Valkyries, what is this, like their 4th or 5th straight road game in a row? And if I'm not mistaken, the Valkyries, I know they've been playing good defense, but they've been facing some, lackluster competition. I think this Fever offense is a completely different story. So with the Fever at home here, I don't think the Valkyries are going to be able to make the Fever slow down and play at their pace. I think the Fever will control the tempo. I even think that Golden State, for as slow as they like to play, they've had 4 days rest. They'll probably be up to getting out and running, especially versus the Indiana defense that's not great. You look at the 2 meetings so far this season, they both have cleared 170. I mean, they've already proven that they can score on each other. I think this one is more of an over game. So Valkyries, my first thought, or over. A couple different ways I'm looking at this game.
Yeah, I might be going back to Sophie Cunningham over 1.5 made threes. It's plus 110. She had the appearance at UFC 329 and then comes out and goes 6 of 7. I don't know. Maybe the smell of blood and sweat gets her.
I mean, that was pretty cool for her to do the UFC thing for real. But man, I mean, she's too good of a shooter to just be leaving her wide open. I mean, that 6 or 7 aces game, they weren't even trying. I mean, anybody could have hit those shots out there. They're leaving them wide open. Literally, I'm watching the aces players like just under the rim, just looking at her shoot. So I know she's a great shooter. I don't want to talk you off of that, but one thing I will say in this matchup, Golden State, I feel like they usually do a good job running people off the three, but I don't know. I don't want to talk you off too much, Andy.
I haven't put it in for clients yet. We'll see how the rest of the day the day goes. So, Skee, you've been on fire in all of basketball since the beginning of the year. So, congratulations on that run. What do you have up for everybody today?
I do have a best bet. It is in the late game, so if you want to be involved in that, I talked about it a little bit on the show. But if you want the write up, the paragraphs, etc., and to play right to your email, you can get it over at WagerTalk. And there go, my numbers. NBA was pretty good. Finished up over 100 units. WNBA has been a pretty good start as well. I'm the number 1 basketball handicapper in 2026. So this special, I think, is a really good way to get involved. NBA early bird, get the rest of WNBA free. I've hit every 5% play except my last one this season. I'm 14-5 the last 2 seasons on 5% play. So I'm locked in right now. The 5% that I lost, they were tied with like 2 minutes left in the game, and they didn't cover plus 8.5. So that one was really tough, but seeing the board well, and if you want to get involved, this is a really good way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Long term, get that WNBA special. So good work, Skee. It's really cool to watch you flourishing in WNBA. It's the hidden gem, man. In summertime, guys, there's games every day. There's soft markets. There's really, really good playable numbers, and Skee shows you how to take advantage of that and build your bankroll. Get ready for fall. So, great work, Skee. Before I let you go, any of your favorite off-season moves in NBA that stand out to you?
Off-season moves, I've heard some people say that LaMelo and Anthony Edwards is going to be tough because you got 2 guys who, it's like they want to have fun. They're not necessarily the most serious guys. But I think it can work. I think that point guard play is a lot of what Minnesota was missing. And I'm excited, to see how that shakes out. I do think LeBron is going to wait until, this is just an opinion and it could be wrong, but LeBron is the guy who likes attention. He always wants all the attention
What?
on him. And
No.
he has an opportunity to do something kind of funny. There's supposed to be an announcement, a presidential announcement coming up. And I don't know. I could see LeBron making his announcement around the same time. I could really see
Thursday night.
Yeah, I could see it.
Uh,
And I think he's going to Golden State. That's my honest thought. Because
That's
over
what
the
Andy's
years,
been saying.
he's talked so much about wanting to play with Steph Curry. We know how good of a friend he is with Draymond Green. I think he's just waiting for the moment he wants to announce it. Outside of that, I will say I'm excited for a couple players that I saw in the Lakers Summer League. I like Carr. I like Kaluma. I like Thiero. A lot of people are saying some bad things, but for the past few years, it's been the Lakers are so old. They need to get young. Now they're getting older, and nobody's happy. I mean, I like what I'm seeing right now. I think LA is heading in the right direction.
okay, all right. My favorite not basketball move was just like the NBA and Adam Silver just waiting a week after the Kawhi trade and then just being like, no. like this has got to be the sloppiest and longest like investigation into something. The only thing worse would be the when the NCAA announced they didn't find any wrongdoing from the 1980s Miami Hurricanes, except ESPN had already made 2 documentaries about it. I would say that might be the sloppiest investigation I've ever seen. But yeah, the old aspiration is pretty fun. So, all right, Skee. Well, good luck with all your plays today. Continued success in WNBA, and thanks for joining us, brother. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, Skee Profit on a roll. We got a limited slate today, guys, so we're going to draw this out as best we can on our schedule of what we're supposed to talk about. We don't even have a second guest. It just says Andy and Dan deep dive on Argentina and England, and we can do that. And then we're going to go over our NFL player prop of the day. We did wide receiver yesterday. We did quarterback on Monday. We got running back today. We do have a 4% play that goes off in this game today. It's middle of the day.
Yep.
England and Argentina, and I'm going to put up the Open Championship pack right after that. So if you want to get all of our golf plays, I think we'll have 3 or 4 of them before the tournament starts. But if you want, just get 7 days of golf for $25. That's the best thing to do. That way, if you have any daily plays, you get it included. So if you're going to get the Open Championship, just go to the specials page and get 7 days of golf for $25. It'll get you every play pre-tournament and all the way through the tournament. So, all right, Dan, let's do it. Let's talk about Argentina and England here. The nicknames keep coming in. I believe VA Argentina has been kind of the one we've settled on. It's really, really strong. It's a really good one. So, all right, let's break it down. I've got a couple things to go over. I'll get us started. I'll take a look at over 7.5 corners in this game. These are teams that generate a lot of corners with their offense. Check out some of these numbers. England versus Norway had 11 corners. England versus Mexico, 14. Even versus Congo, there was 8. Versus Panama, there was 10. Versus Ghana, there was 11. England versus Croatia, there was 10. And then Argentina, there was 10 versus Switzerland, even 7 versus Egypt, 16 versus Cape Verde, and Argentina, Jordan, 8. So I got over 7.5 corners at a fair price. I think these offenses generate some scoring chances.
Yeah, if you even just put together the 2 aggregates, what these teams have been generating, England has been certainly generating more than Argentina, but this figures to kind of be a back and forth affair. If you put them together, these teams are averaging just above 12 corners per match. So Argentina's gone over 6 corners themselves in 60% of their matches. England, all of their games have gone over 6 corners, just what they have been able to generate. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me in this corner market that's worked out really nice for us on our client plays. It's been real kind to us. We've lost 1 bad by the hook, but 7.5 feels crazy low for 2 teams who I don't think are going to sit back on their heels. Like both of these teams have gotten here by being cardiac kids, right? Like both of them have had big time comebacks, big time swings, and it's just the way that they play. So I like them kind of opening up the offenses here for sure. As far as the game is concerned, I really, want to back England to advance here. I'm surprised that they're as big of a favorite to advance as they are. I think they're around like minus 130, even north of that in some spots to advance, simply because this is the question for me, Andy, is does experience win out in this match? Because the thing with England, you ask any Three Lions fan, anyone who's over the pond, they know that the other shoe always drops for England. Like the fact that they're in this position right now has flown in the face of what all of these fans have seen year after year. Does the other shoe drop, or was Thomas Tuchel the little piece that they need him to get him over the edge? Is his intensity that he brings what makes the difference for this England side? That's what keeps me off of the side here, man. I just, there's so much experience and pedigree on this Argentinian side, and you can say, oh, well, they've only done just enough. They've skipped by the skin of their teeth. Let's be real, Andy. Both of these teams negate each other because they're both kind of lucky to be here. You know what I mean? They're both a couple lucky calls away from not being in this game. So you can make that handicap on both sides. So for me, I lean this England side. I don't know if I can get there. We have a client play up that we like quite a bit. I think even though it's probably one of the more popular ways to attack the game, that's the way we're attacking the game. You can check it out, wt.buzz/AL. I think draw is fine. You heard Jesse talk about it yesterday. It was plus 206 when we talked to him. Now it's plus 190. I could see this one going to extras. I don't anticipate a dominant one-sided effort like what we saw. I could see a 1-1 heading to extra time. I could see a 0-0 heading to extra time. But I think you're going to see offense in this game. I think that the draw is in play. So if I had to make a wager right now, it would be the plus 190 for me on the draw. Andy is okay. It's one that I would make, and I like that corner that you bring up, though. I like that corner one quite a bit.
Well, I got some interesting angles here that we could also attack at some big plus money. If you like the over, why not take like a half unit and put it on exactly 3 goals at plus 340 and exactly 4 goals at plus 600? If you get a 2-1 game, a 3-1 game, you're guaranteeing yourself profit. That might be a little bit better way to attack it than the over. So 3 and 4 goal. I could absolutely see a 3 and 4 goal game in this one. So that's one way to go after it. Messi plus Kane to score. That parlay is 5-1. So
the goats goating.
Yeah, the goats. And then what we saw yesterday, Spain gets the penalty kick, and then France has to, is playing from behind. They give up the goal 2-0. What if one team gets a similar thing? What about a sprinkle on England minus 1.5 at 5-1 and a sprinkle on Argentina minus 1.5 at 6-1? You get a 2-1 situation, another team presses, and you get a late goal. That's what we saw yesterday. I could see a similar game script going today. It's got my attention at the 5-1 and 6-1. So those are some.
The prices, I like the prices. However, it's just the way that these two teams, like the back line for both of these teams, can get broken down just with a good cross, with a good push. So that's, I guess, what would concern me about either of these teams leading by margin is backdoor potential, right? But at a plus, 5-1, a 6-1, that makes a lot of sense and is a good way to attack. As far as goal scorers go, like you said, you can have the GOAT parlay, but let's be real. I mean, Jude Bellingham has been a huge part of what England did. I mean, that Norway game was the Jude party, right? So
absolutely.
I think he could be worth a sprinkle on maybe not anytime goal scorer, but Jude Bellingham score or assist in full time. So including extra time, plus 165 for Jude Bellingham to score or have an assist. So
Carmine's got jokes. Bank wide.
Comment and let us know what your plays are in this England and Argentina game. The game goes at 3. You saw Carm there in the chat. He also dropped and said, "Hey guys, feel free to share this. This is one that he fired off. I know to the Discord that he's been having, and the analysis makes a lot of sense to me. He's looking at the player of the tournament, which is different than obviously the golden boot. This is a little bit different of a metric where you're just talking pure goal scoring. So player of the tournament or the golden ball plus 350. He says, take a look at Rodri Hernandez from Spain. He's currently third behind that aforementioned Jude Bellingham, Lionel Messi. He thinks after today's game, he's going to be moving up that odds board. And I like John pointing out, Trent's on England. It's not coming home. Not coming home. When we were in Detroit, Kelly lost a lot of money just fading Trent and fading Trent and fading Trent. We were like, Kelly, just stop. You don't have to do it every time. She's like, I have to do it every time. So take that with a bit of salt. But Carm's saying that he thinks Rodri could be moving into the second best odds here and moving up the odds board. So he got this at this plus 350. I'm looking on FanDuel. There's plus 400s out there. Thanks for the comment, J. Dot, as well. Accurate passes. He's the tournament leader. Completed successful passes in the final third, 170. He's the tournament leader. Tackles 118, which is around the top of these tournament leaders. So 3 different metrics when you're talking about the player, the player of the tournament. They're not solely looking at what they do with just, their boots. They're looking at what they do as a whole. So Rodri as a nice plus money price. Another little free play there.
Messi 1.5 shots on targets plus 117. My only issue with that is it's a good price. My only issue is I would much rather prefer like 3 or 4 shots as opposed to shots on target because Messi tries to paint the corners. And he does a great job. And he only needs one, to get there to score the goal.
That's true.
But he'll miss a lot just barely. So whereas some other guys are just like pepper with shots on target. So like I did there's a same game parlay video on this game, and I did a breakdown about Argentina shots, not shots on target, but shots. They fire the ball a lot. They're missing left, missing right, missing high. So they don't all go on target. They're trying to hit those corners, and whereas a lot of guys they're just trying to get, like we saw in the what was the game where they Spain eventually got the bounce off the goalie. Just pepper the goalie enough, you're going to get one to bounce off.
Exactly.
Kane matchup against these defenders. For me, with Kane, it's just the set pieces.
Exactly.
It's just like him and Holland, man. Whenever there's a corner, if you're the other team, you're like, oh God, is this blonde-haired guy going to jump up higher than everybody and have a clean shot with the header? So to me, that's where Kane is. It's not dribbling through or anything like that.
And I know that, there's a lot of pundits talking about what a horrible mismatch that it is for the Argentinian defenders. And I agree with that, but I don't think it's just against Kane. I mean, this is what this back line has done this entire tournament. Egypt found 2 goals against this defense. So yes, I think it's pretty easy to say Harry Kane makes it a very tough matchup against these defenders. It's the low pickings. Anyone is a bad matchup for how this back line is playing for Argentina. So that's partially why I like goals in this game. I'm not sure if I'm going on the over. We have a score prediction that they're asking for. If I had to make a score prediction, Andy.
I'm going 3-1 Argentina.
I was going to say 2-1 Argentina. I want it to be. I think 2-1 is the final. Who is the winner? That leaves to be decided, but I just think the experience is going to win out for Argentina, and it's what FIFA wants. Argentina, Spain is a no-brainer. I also saw there was someone who posted, Andy, if you believe in conspiracy theories and people who are from the future that have Biff's Almanac. I don't know if you saw the thing that made the rounds. This guy posted in 2021, Argentina just beat Spain in the 2026 World Cup final 3-2. And this was, again, posted in 2021. So if he's a time traveler, I'll tell you what.
Not exactly the boldest of calls. I mean, come on. Like you basically picked 2 powerhouses.
Yeah, but posting it in 2021, again, I'm just saying, I will be placing a wager on final score 3-2 if it is Argentina, Spain. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I would also like to know how many other tweets he sent out with various other predictions, because I can do that with the NFL Super Bowl and then just go back and delete them the week up and be like, see, I told you. I could be like, mark my words, Bills over Seahawks. Mark my words, Broncos
Exactly.
over Bears, whatever. So over 7.5 VAR. No way. No way.
That would be crazy.
That would crazy.
If you can bet cards, though, I will say I think this game is going to be a relatively, physical game. And if you look at the official, if you remember that mess of a turkey game, I'm pretty sure this official was the guy who was making the calls in that game. I think he could maybe try and lay down the law early. I would take total cards over. And that's something that you, of course, have to shop around. It's not on every book. So
yeah. Before we get on to Javonte Williams and his touchdown prop, again, guys, 4% best bet for us goes off in this game. 7 days of golf for $25. It gets you every single play for the Open Championship. Or honestly, right now, 3 days, and you get 3 days free. Now you get every single golf play. You get our 5% UFC best bet that is up. You get the soccer play. So pretty good time for half price 6-day pass. So 3 days for $69 is a pretty good deal too. Thoughts on the penalty yesterday? The guy wasn't even going for the guy wasn't even going for the ball. He comes flying in sideways. It bounces off his shoulder. He gets kicked in the thigh. They're nowhere near the goal. My next door neighbor. He's like kind of done watching World Cup. His bets went horrible, and then the VAR just drives him nuts. And then it's not their job to try and, make it good for Americans to watch. I'm just telling you, they just don't. I'm just telling you, they're not getting casual Americans to sign up for this product. That's problem.
It was just brutal. Like you said, the guy never even saw him coming, just whips the leg around, flies right into him. That was just, it was a brutal, and I get that it's the lay of the land, but you'd like to maybe make a little bit more judgment there for sure.
Listen, I'm not arguing that it was a PK. There's no argument here that by the rules. I'm just saying that determined the course of the game, and it just feels like a punishment. Just absolutely. It's just a punishment that just seems a little bit too harsh on a play like that. I liked how somebody was like, they should do power play. Like a guy goes off for 2 minutes. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So yeah. We didn't have a play yesterday. We sat out yesterday's game. So we had our play on Monday. We sat out yesterday. So we're hoping to go 2-0 this week. So, all right, let's go. Let's go to our NFL, our NFL best bet. All right, not best bet, but future. So here's how we're doing it, guys. All right, Monday is going to be quarterback futures. Tuesdays are going to be wide receivers. Wednesdays are going to be running backs. Thursdays are going to be teams, and Friday submission. You guys drop in the comment section what you want us to break down. It could be anything, any prop for the future, another season win, another player prop, something really obscure. Just leave it in the comment section. Here we go. Javonte Williams over under 9.5 rushing touchdowns. I forgot to completely look and change the graphic, Dan. It has him listed as the playing for the Broncos. My bad. Well, that skipped. That skipped it. So I'll go first. He had 11 last year in the first year with the team. He does seem to be durable. 16 games last year, 17 the year before, 16 the year before that. My big thing is he literally has no competition for goal line carries. When they get inside the 5 and someone's getting carries, it is Javonte Williams. I went and looked up the offense, where they stand right now. Boy, this offense really could be dynamic with lots of points. On paper, they have a good schedule for him to have some multiple touchdown games. Giants, Commanders twice, Cardinals, Colts, Titans, Jags. I was reading a local article about Tyler Guyton at left tackle, which could really boost the offensive line and give them that stability They could be looking at more 2 tight end sets with the emergence of Spanford as a blocking tight end. And good way to protect Dak is to get the running game going. I think I'm in on the Cowboys offense. I would really like to get Javonte Williams in my fantasy leagues. You're always depending on health, but he did it last year. I think he can do it again. This is a really, really good offense with a pretty pretty good schedule. I'm in on the over on this one, Dan.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, this is a guy who had 11 touchdowns last year. Now he's had 22 in his career, so half of his career touchdowns came in the last year. Does that mean it's an outlier year, or is this guy as legit as it comes? I mean, 1,200 yards last year, Andy, speaks for himself. And the Cowboys quite obviously were tired of just doing like this running back by committee thing that they had been doing essentially, since they lost Zeke. They've kind of just been in running back no man's land. So now I think the move, bringing in a guy who goes over 1,200 yards, who has over 10 touchdowns last year, this is a clear signal that like they want him to be their guy. As Andy said, this number factors in health. This number factors in him being around. But what? We're worried that Malik Davis and Jaden Blue are going to cut into the work here for Javonte Williams. I'm not. Barring another big ad, I think your handicap on this is perfect. Goal line carries. And this is an offense that showed last year they can go up and down the field on people. Now in the second year under Shoddy, I think they're only going to be a bit stronger. A lot of folks like them here in the NFC East. So if you like them in the NFC East, you figure that they're going to be scoring. If they're scoring in bunches, Javonte Williams, this would only be an over bet for me because I think his floor is around 10 touchdowns, to be honest with you. I'm with you. I'm in on him on DFS. I'm in on him in fantasy leagues. You want a running back who doesn't have competition around him, and I just don't see where that competition comes from. So Javonte Williams, I'm with you, Andy. Back-to-back days, we're agreeing on these. Let's go over the 9.5 rushing touchdowns. We were on the under Rome Odunze receiving yards. And Jaden Blue is good. Don't get me wrong.
He's good. Javonte's good around the goal line. He's a good goal line back, and he's just going to get the carries. I think Jaden Blue gets mixed in for just some spells here or there. They work him into the mix. Good for 5 to 8 carries, depending on where they're at in the field and what the score is of the game. But once they get in close, it's going to be Javonte. So, all right, good show, Dan. Not a lot going on. We got some day games. Remember that Lynx game starts at 1 o'clock. Open Championship for us Americans starts late tonight. I think 11:30 p.m. Eastern is the tee time. So get those plays in. And, of course, we're all going to be following closely this England-Argentina game. We'll be back tomorrow. Yannick's going to be joining us. We've got to start getting ready for the weekend. We'll start talking some UFC. And, Dan, there's a big bare knuckle fighting championship card. I will be recording a video for that. That's over on the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel. That's on Saturday. Saturday, we have bare knuckle fighting. We have PFL and we have UFC. It is a monster week of fighting. I'll go over some of those plays. I will just, this card is in Italy. And they have a lot of guys that have never fought before. Let's just say research was a little tough on this. Like, I'm going through Instagram, like trying to find anything about these guys. But the main card is full of good fighters, and the prelims, look out because there's going to be some wild cards on this one. So we do have one generational wealth bet that is on this card. You guys know I love finding the guy that's just laughably bad and should never be in a ring. There is one fighting this weekend. So he's not hard to find if you look at the odds. So, all right. We'll break down that and much, much more, but expect a big weekend in MMA and boxing. So thanks for joining us, guys. Like button, comment below. Give us a topic for Friday on an NFL future. Maybe we can get Yanni involved with that. That'd be good. Maybe we could get Yanni to talk, or Teddy Covers. We get somebody else to join in on that every Friday.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, let's keep having a good week here, guys. Appreciate you guys for joining us. Good luck on your bets, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care.